Yo, we just people from the north side. Once the Timmy's hit the shore fine. Winter ready on the four ties. Heavy traffic during 4-5. Gotta hustle on your own time. Color people every port side. We just people from the north side.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's your host, your boy George McKay, back here on Straight Talk Wrestling. And man, do I got a good one. Someone I am very excited to have. We connected during Elimination Chamber weekend. He was there. And I didn't see him at the actual Elimination Chamber because we were all soaking in the drama that was John Cena and everything that transpired that night. But I did catch him the next day at Rogue Presents, Chris Van Vliet Insight meet and greet, live recording of Insight with the Hurt Syndicate. Please help me welcome my good friend. And this is not shop talk because we have talked steadily since. Alan Ownz to Straight Talk Wrestling. How are you, man?
I'm excited to be here today, man. Get a little combo going with my boy George.
Dude, honestly, it was kind of a geek out moment when I met you because I was like, yo, I know who that is, but I don't want to be that lame guy, so I'm just gonna be super cool. And then you put me in your short, and then we started talking, and then next thing I know, I'm like, you know what? Not only do I recognize who the hell this is, I actually subscribed to like 4 of his different accounts, and it was just wild to me, man. So I gotta ask because your reaction videos reactions a big thing nowadays. I don't know what it is. People just love to see other people reacting to stuff, living in the moment. And your reaction videos of everything from the Elimination Chamber weekend, also the stuff that you do when you go to Raws and SmackDown, bringing the shirt, getting people to sign, taking pictures. What's it like having this incredible journey of people just watching you reacting to the same stuff that they're reacting to, but enjoying your reaction so much more than their own reactions, if that makes sense?
Yeah, so I think it's funny because I've always said I think reactions are basically a way for you to really get to know someone, right? And like get to see if like you guys are either on the same page for something or not the same page for something, right? Because like for example, with me, the Elimination Chamber is a perfect example. I liked that John Cena turned heel. I hate how they did it, right? I hate that The Rock was involved because I'm not a big fan of The Rock. But there's people that will die on the hill that The Rock is the greatest of all time, right? So when they see my reaction to being upset that The Rock is involved, and I give my genuine reaction because like the one thing that I will be honest, and I think I'm a very biased person. And I'm very honest about it too. I'm very biased, especially when it comes to storylines. If I like a character, I'm gonna react based on the fact that I like the character, no matter what the storyline is, right? Like I have this delusion that Seth Rollins should win the triple threat match at WrestleMania because he's my favorite wrestler. Is he gonna win? Probably not. But just because he's my favorite, I still have this delusion that I want him to win, right? The best part about reaction is like you get to see different types of emotion from people based on whether they like something or they don't, right? Because like you're never on the same page with every single person. Some people like this person, some people like this person, some people like the match, some people dislike the match. And it's always cool to see people that are very honest with their emotion. And I feel like the one thing about me is I try to be as honest with my emotions as I can. And it's cool to see people's reaction to it. Some people dislike it, some people like it, and it's cool just to see all the different people come together in the comment section about it.
I love that. And the comment section, man, the comment section is a wild and rowdy place.
Oh
It
yeah.
is a place where people who feel that they can be, I guess, you're not anonymous. You don't know who I am. You just know me by a screen name. Can feel like they can say whatever they want. Have you ever comments? I mean, with the amount of following that you have, comments probably roll off your back. Me, I'm still trying to work on that and stuff, and I'm still trying to struggle with trying to carve out my own little place in this, even though I've been grinding at it for 10 years. But did the comments ever get to you?
So I originally come from the gaming scene,
Hmm.
and the gaming scene comments are significantly worse than anything that I've ever seen in the wrestling section. Like people in the wrestling section, I think they try to be witty and mean on purpose.
Mm.
Compared to like when kids are like, for example, in the gaming scene, you have a lot more kids, right? They're trying to be mean. Like they're actually being mean. You know what I mean? Like they're actually being mean. They're trying to be mean. In the wrestling, like they'll be like, "Oh, you're bald." I'll be like, "Yes, I know. I look in the mirror every single day. I know I'm bald." You know what I mean? They'll be like, "Oh, I hate you," and I'm like, one, hate is a very strong word, and two, if you hate somebody from just like their videos on the internet, you have like underlying issues that you probably have to work on yourself. So like, I haven't been bothered by I say the comment section maybe 4 or 5 years. Like it's
Mhm.
one of those things where it's like I get it. It's the internet. Like, I feel like right after COVID, everybody thinks it's cool now to try to be mean because that's how you get likes in the comments and stuff, and your comment goes higher. To me, it is what it is. It's a part of the internet. Like, once you put your face out there, once you put an opinion out there, once you put a video out there, whatever people are gonna say, they're gonna say. You just accept it. Me personally, I think it's funny half the time because when you meet these people in person, I've not had a single bad interaction in person. Like,
Mm.
not a single time. Especially like I'll be live and people will come up to me, they'll come say hi, we take pictures, I'll sign something, they'll sign the shirt. And I try to have genuine conversations with people, right? Like, I try to get to know people. I try to I'm a very friendly person in person. Like,
Mhm.
you've met me, like, like
I can
I
attest to that 100%,
yeah,
man.
like, I'm a very friendly guy. I'm very big on, once people are in person, you get the real person anyway. And my personality on the internet is the same as mine is online. And people are always shocked. They're like, wait, so like this is actually you? And I'm like, yeah, like this is just I am this person. I know a lot of people put on a character. Like, I will definitely get into character sometimes, to like play along with the storylines or whatever. But the way that I talk, the way I interact with people and stuff like that, is very authentic on the internet as it is in person. And in person, I've never had a bad interaction. And that's where I've learned it's just the internet. Like, it's people behind a screen name with an anime profile picture or a wrestler as a profile picture. Just they want to get something out of their system, so they'll say something.
Yeah, you just happen to be the particular target on that particular day after watching that particular video. But I have to say, my favorite video right now of yours is the one from actually just recently. Literally, Raw was yesterday. And it was the one where Gunther got slapped. Like, he got slapped the fuck out. And your reaction was priceless because it was just like, we were waiting because we knew something was going to happen. He made the
Yep.
comment. We knew something was going to happen. We didn't know if Jay was going to push him or Jimmy was going to push him up against the wall. We didn't know if they were just going to have a stare down and maybe he was going to do one of these. Had no idea. I had no idea the slap was coming. But I wish I would have recorded my reaction because I was watching it on my couch. And when he slapped him, I was drinking water. I spit water all over the floor because I was like, oh shit, because that looked like it fucking hurt. And then
Yeah.
I went back and I watched your reaction, and your reaction was the same as mine, sans the water. But damn, that slap was fucking, that was brutal, no?
Yeah, yeah, that was one of those things where, again, it's awesome when you see characters actually portray their emotion as you would expect them to, right? Because a lot of the times I feel like the characters are very robotic. Like, they're gonna give the reaction that a robotic version of the character would give, like an angry, like a don't talk bad about my brother, and then like give him a little push. But he gave him like a slap. Like, that's something that I feel like a genuine Jimmy Uso reaction would be to someone that's trying to bully his younger brother, right? Someone that's trying to like talk down on his younger brother. I can see the real Jimmy Uso slap the guy, right? So it's cool when you finally see certain characters that portray their real emotion that we expect them as humans to give.
I love that. Yeah, you're right. You're 100% right when you know. I'm very much of the same mindset of you where I enjoy the storylines. To me, have to make sense and they have to make me feel something, whether if it's anger, whether if it's sadness, whether if it's comedy, they have to make me feel something. And if I don't feel something and I'm not invested by the time WrestleMania or even any event rolls around where we get the big payoff, that's the match where I will refill my glass or I will refill my bowl with whatever snack I'm choosing to enjoy. Or I may go to the bathroom or I may step outside to smoke some weed. Those are the moments where I take a break because I'm like, you know what? I'm not invested in this match. But I will say, so far, every match does have me intrigued in some way, shape, or form. Gunther being this larger than life, persona, being, the ring general. And then you have Jey Uso, the ultimate. This is a man who should not be in the main event. By design of how he was built up through wrestling, he should not be in the main event. He should be in a tag team all the time. But during COVID, he found a way to break out. One brother injured, you find ways to get creative, and it just took off. And people are like, I don't get it. He's a top merch seller. We understand how the house. Listen, everyone has their opinions, but at the end of the day, for me, these are the storylines I enjoy the most. We all remember Rey Mysterio's title reign. He should have never won, but he did. He was the ultimate underdog. Why can't we do this again? Why can't we have another ultimate underdog going up? The immovable force meets the immovable object. Why can't we have that? Why can't we just have it for what it is? Why does it have to come down to dollars and cents? What's your thoughts on that?
So I'm very invested in Jey Uso just because I've been invested in the guy for 14 years, right? I think what I've noticed is anyone that you talk to that actually attends shows enjoys Jey Uso,
Mhm.
right? Anyone that I feel like has been watching the product through the ups and downs, everyone that watched through COVID, everybody that watched during the period that everybody says they stopped watching, enjoys Jey Uso. The one thing that I have noticed is a lot of people that have, just got back into it the past couple of years, or that just they haven't had the true character development in Jey Uso. And I say it for like there's certain characters that you watch them once or twice and you get it, right? I see it with a lot of my friends because I've gotten my friends back into professional wrestling, like my best friends from home. They knew I watched. I have about two or three that we watched all these years. We just kept watching, even when everyone stopped watching. But my home friends, my best friends that I've been friends with since like middle school. So we've been friends for almost 20 years at this point. These guys, like a lot of them, stopped watching after high school. I just got them back into it about 2 or 3 years ago. Half of them are on the I don't get the Jey Uso train. Half of them that have went to the shows with me go, obviously I get it. But the one fascinating thing is you have characters like if you ask any of my friends, they get Braun Breaker right away. Right? Like that's a character that you understand right away. The Penta character, you get it right away. The Gunther character, his character is very easy to get right away. The Jey Uso type character, I feel like a lot of it's just emotional investment from people that have been watching him for decades, right? Like we're on almost a decade and a half of watching the Usos since they came in. I remember I always bring up that promo they had when they were wearing their preppy outfits with Tamina talking for them. Then we had the face paint Usos, and then you watch the development of their characters all the way up until the Bloodline storyline, where you can argue that Jimmy, Jay, and Sammy were more important than the Wise Man and Roman Reigns in the Bloodline storyline for almost a year and a half. And when you go through that type of emotional investment with the guy, you watched all the times where he was this close to winning a world title to then, you know, leaving the bloodline to coming to Monday Night Raw with Cody Rhodes bringing him, winning the tag team titles with Cody Rhodes, coming to the mid card and saying he wants a singles title, winning that intercontinental title, to now watching him ascend to this level. It's like, I'm invested no matter what because I have so much investment in the guy. I have investment in his storyline. And anyone that I feel like watched the whole way through are massive Jey Uso guys. They want to see the story. They're invested in the story. A lot of the newer people, the last 2, 3 year guys, are like, oh, well, there's better guys. And I'm just like, I somewhat understand because you missed all of the storyline build to why he's here. You missed all of like understanding of why this character is who he is. Like it's the same thing with like a lot of people who just started watching and they didn't see Big Dog Roman Reigns, right? They only see this tribal chief. So like they don't know what we went through to get to this character of Roman Reigns and why we're so invested in it. It's the same thing with like a Cody Rhodes. A lot of people came back to just seeing this version of Cody Rhodes that is the super baby face, the top baby face of the company, the guy who's like literally like basically a jacked, better looking version of his dad. And you didn't see the fact that he had the Stardust gimmick and had to leave and go on the indies and then go to AEW and get booed out of AEW and coming back. Like a lot of people have that whole emotional investment that people nowadays like, oh, he's just a John Cena.
Mm. I love
And I
that.
feel like that's the thing with Jey Uso that like to me it's like I've been there, I've experienced it. It's in my heart.
No, I get you. I fully get, and I'm right there with you on that aspect of the Usos. Were probably one of the Usos together and the Usos separate have been enjoyable to watch from everything that you described, including you left out Uso Penitentiary, but that's
Yep.
okay. That was my favorite. That was my favorite Usos. I loved Uso Penitentiary. Those were gold. And then obviously we got the Bloodline. But I will say that Jay skyrocketed. I feel like Jimmy is still trying to find himself, which is why I think they're roping him back into this storyline because right now they don't have anything for him. Last year it was brother versus brother. We're going to get a brother versus brother match. And we got it. It was okay. In my opinion, it wasn't a great match, but it was solid. And then we had, the bloodline coming back together. We had the reuniting. We had all of it. And now Jimmy's trying to find himself. Do you ever think that, do you think Jimmy will translate into some kind of single success, not near what his brother did, but he'll carve something out for himself? Or do you think he'll have to kind of stay with Jay?
I think they'll end up putting a U.S. title on him. I don't see him becoming a main title holder, unfortunately. Um, the hard part with professional wrestling, I think a lot of it is the, and it's something that I've talked about for a very long time. I feel like we're aging out a lot of the guys that have been a part of this for 15 plus years.
Hmm.
And I feel like seeing a lot of these guys that didn't have any push to single success get top of the line single success is going to be few and far between. Like the Jey Uso situation, I think it's a unicorn. Like you don't get situations like this very often. We saw it with a Kofi Kingston. Um, I don't put Big E in this category. I think a lot of people put Big E in that category of like the Kofi Kingston and the Jey Uso. I thought Big E was going to have single success since he was on NXT. Like it was very obvious he was going to be a world champion at one point or another. I feel like if you didn't watch NXT during that time period, you might have not seen it. But even when he came up on the main roster, you knew when he was like Dolph's bodyguard, you knew like this guy is special. You know, like you saw it. He has the look, he had the personality, he had the moveset, he had everything about it. Kofi Kingston was a different example. Like I always looked at Kofi Kingston as more of a mid card. Some in my time, in my point, I think it was a lot of a comedy gimmick. Like I looked at it as a comedy gimmick, even though it was supposed to be you know, not a comedy gimmick. You know, like it was supposed to be a more serious gimmick. It's supposed to be there's trouble and paradise. You know, like I like that type of stuff was supposed to be like a little more serious, but you have very few far in between those type of guys. You know, people like to throw Daniel Bryan into that category. But again, Daniel Bryan's one of those guys where like if you, when you watched him wrestle, you knew this guy was so good. You
Hmm.
know, like he was there's certain guys where you're like, all right, they're amazing. Jey Uso, you don't get wowed by singles wrestling. We're not going to sit here and lie to ourselves. You don't get wowed by it, right? I'm not going to watch a Jey Uso match and go, "Oh my god, I just saw a 5-star banger." Um but he's the type of guy where it's like it's awesome to see the ascension. I don't see Jimmy having that same type of success. There's a lot of guys where it's like they're singles guys or maybe they're tag team guys, like a Xavier Woods. Everybody always says he should get a singles title. He should get a singles title. Do I think he should have like an IC or a US title? For sure. Do I think he's a world heavyweight champion, WWE champion? Unfortunately not. You know, there's few and far between those type of guys where they've either been tag team guys or they've been singles guys that never had that opportunity that ascend to that level. Unfortunately for Jimmy, I think it's just too late down that career to go to that level. I would love it. It'd be cool because I personally, I know a lot of people don't agree with this. I think Jimmy Uso is the better Uso. I think out of those two, I think he's better in every single aspect. Just the fans chose Jey Uso.
I like that. I like how you said that. The fans chose Jey Uso. You're right. They made a choice, and the choice was that. And I have to ask this though: do you think we will see brother versus brother for the world title? Do we
No,
think
no, no.
they may build some kind of jealousy factor into it? No.
Maybe the other brother, Solo,
Okay,
but
fair enough. Yeah, yeah.
definitely not Jimmy. I think we're down. We're done with that like whole like Jimmy versus Jay story. I believe that they even told us that when we found out that they cut the time on their match at WrestleMania. I could tell once we heard that story that basically to them it's more they did the match for those two guys to finally have it because it's something that was definitely on their bucket list rather than being something that the WWE itself is invested in.
I got you. Okay, fair enough, fair enough. Let's switch gears to some women's action now because I'm intrigued to know your opinions. Charlotte Flair returns. She wins a Rumble. She punches her ticket. She has her choice of who she's going to go with. And I honestly and truly, I always thought it was going to be Tiffany, but they played it for a second that she might, just might go after the NXT title again, like she had done years prior. But sure enough, she punched her ticket. She's going up against Tiffany. And I will say, Tiffany Stratton, I've always enjoyed her. I've enjoyed her from everything from the will she cash in, won't she cash in? When she finally cashed in, I was like, hallelujah. Like, Jesus Christ, it's got to suck traveling with that briefcase all the time. You know what I mean? But she finally cashes in. She does the job. She gets the title. And now we're building to this match. Do you believe in your heart of hearts? I'll give my opinion after yours. But do you believe in your heart of hearts that Charlotte Flair wins at WrestleMania? Or does Tiffany Stratton finally, do they allow Tiffany Stratton to pin Charlotte Flair and be the one person that's been able to do it since Becky Lynch or Ronda Rousey?
No, I think Charlotte Flair is winning at WrestleMania. I think, and I'm going to be honest, I think their latest promo basically gave us all the fuel that we need to know that I don't think Tiffany is ready to be the top dog. I think it's going to be a lot like the situation of Rhea Ripley when she won her first title.
Mm.
And I think it's one of those like, you got she is good enough in ring to go at anybody. We're not going to sit here and act like Tiff is not good enough to wrestle. You can put her in there with literally anyone, and she's going to put on a great match. She is so awesome in the ring. Like in ring psychology wise, I think she's awesome. I've watched her in person several times, and I think she has every aspect of a wrestler that is awesome. She hits hard. She does moves that look like they hurt. Like when she does the Alabama slam, that thing looks like it hurts. She can high fly. She can do every move you want her to do. And her matches, they tell great stories. The biggest thing is, I don't think that she has the experience on the mic yet to go promo for promo with a lot of these top dogs. And I think that Charlotte Flair is... so Charlotte Flair is my favorite female wrestler of all time, and I believe that the thing that separates Charlotte from everybody else is you don't beat her on the mic. You just don't. Can you keep up with her on the mic? She's like a John Cena, like a CM Punk. Can you keep up with those two on the mic? Because you know you're not going to beat her on the mic. She decimated her in the last promo. And I don't know if it was Charlotte just basically like showing the WWE universe that Tiffany can't keep up, or if it was planned for Charlotte to absolutely decimate her. But I think Charlotte wins at WrestleMania, and I think that they build a few more storylines. I do think Tiffany eventually does get it back, but I think she needs a little more experience on the mic against the top dogs, because let's be real, she hasn't really had any mic battles at anyone that's going to challenge her, right?
Oh, you're right. You're right.
Now she has someone that is going to absolutely decimate her every opportunity she gets. And I think at WrestleMania, they're going to put on an amazing match, right? Charlotte always performs at WrestleMania. Like she is a big match player, and you put her in a big match, she's going to perform. I think that match is going to be amazing. Unfortunately, I think the figure eight is going to get Tiffany to tap, and we're going to have a new women's world champion, Charlotte Flair.
I like that. I like that. And there's no need to give my opinion because we're on the same wavelength. See, we're cooking. We're cooking. I was interested. I was intrigued because you know what? I feel like we've gotten a lot of surprises this year in storylines building to WrestleMania, especially Jay winning the Royal Rumble. I did not see that coming. I saw him as the final four, maybe even the final two. I didn't see him winning the Rumble and punching his ticket, but I did see him going at Gunther. And I feel like, you know what? I feel like we need to have a dual babyface champion, or do we? Because I have to talk about the other championship. If Jay wins, does Cena win 17 and we have babyface heel like we do now, or do we get two babyfaces and does Cody retain? This is a big question. This is a question that I'll probably clip out for when I promote this episode.
Yeah.
I want to build the tension here. I want to build it. So, do you think Cena gets 17 or does Cody retain?
So it's funny. Until they announced Backlash, I was convinced Cody was going to win. Once they announced Backlash in St. Louis, it's basically told me that they're about to go on a tour of people trying to knock the sense back into John Cena. And the first person that's going to be up is going to be Randy Orton.
Yeah.
So I think it's very obvious to me that John Cena is going to win. And I also believe the way that they're telling the story of us getting to WrestleMania kind of sells it to us as well. Like, John Cena's paying zero mind to Cody Rhodes. Like, Cody Rhodes to him is a vacant character holding the WWE championship that he's going to take off of him. And it's sad because I actually have a video on my drafts about this, how Cody Rhodes feels like he's been playing the bridesmaid and not the bride in back-to-back WrestleManias. He is not the important person in the story back-to-back. We might go 3 WrestleManias in a row at this point. Back-to-back WrestleManias, he is not the most important person in the story. And it's sad because it's like, how the hell is your WWE Undisputed Champion is not the most important person in the story leading up to the WWE Undisputed Championship? Like, John Cena has paid zero mind. I don't think John Cena knows that Cody Rhodes is the one who holds the title. You know, like, that's what it feels like to me right now, where it's just like, John Cena's got beef with the whole WWE universe for how they've treated him for the past 20 plus years. And it's just like, all right, I'm going to take that title. I'm going to retire with it. And he's literally told us he's winning the championship. You know, like it's one of those things where I feel like Triple H does that a lot, where he lets people tell you the story, right? Like they're telling you the direction we're going to go. They're telling you the things that are going to happen. We saw it where John Cena said he's winning the Elimination Chamber. I'm going to enter it and I'm going to win the Elimination Chamber because it's best for business, right? When it comes to John Cena's character, I believe anything he has to say. When has he lied to us? You know what I mean? When has he ever told us that he's not going to do this? Like, it's one of those things where it's the stories I feel like get like pushed in our face and they go, I'm telling you what's going to happen. Now enjoy how I'm going to bring you there.
Yeah, enjoy the ride. Absolutely. All right. All right. I like that. And you know what? I agree with you as well. I was convinced Cody was going to retain, and then you're right. I saw St. Louis, Missouri. So the next question is, Randy's going to be the first one to try to knock sense into Cena. Where we go to next? Who's next on that list? Because there's a lot of options. There really is.
Yeah.
But who's next on the list after Randy?
Man, that's where I feel like it gets tough. I like after Randy, I think you can go so many different ways, and I have no idea what they're truly gonna do, right? Because they do eventually have to turn him babyface again when he turns on The Rock. When do they insert The Rock back into the picture? I don't know. Do we see Roman Reigns take a shot at it? I don't know, right? Like there's so many different things where it's just like I feel like after that, it's really up for grabs. Like I can theorize a million different things, but like I know this is gonna sound crazy. I think Triple H has already wrote the story through the end of the year.
Absolutely.
And it's one of those things where it's like he's just gonna go with the flow and it doesn't everyone always says, oh, he's got his hand on the pulse of the WWE universe. I hate to break it to y'all guys. Triple H does not give an absolute shit what you have to say. Okay. He writes stories. He is the chief creative officer for a reason, and the direction that he wants to go and the stories he wants to tell, he is going to tell whether I like it, whether you like it, whether your mom, your dog likes it. He is going to tell the story he wants to tell, and I think that he has these stories in mind, and we're just going to go with the flow, and I'm just going to see what he wants to tell me.
Yeah. Yeah, I could agree with you. I mean, I've always been a Triple H guy. I don't know if you've watched any of my videos, but I've always said it from Terror Rising to where we are now. I have been a Triple H faithful. Him and Sting, 1-2 for me. I switch off depending on the mood I'm in. If it's a Wednesday, I'm like, you know what? Today I'm feeling a little emo. I'm gonna go Crow Sting. I'm gonna go Crow Sting today. I'm gonna just sit there and be quiet, and then walk around with a baseball bat until I decide I want to hit something. Or maybe I'm gonna go Triple H. I'm gonna bring the sledgehammer out. Who knows? It depends on the mood. It really does. It depends on the mood. But now I have to ask this. This is a serious question, Alan. Serious question. Is that little boy from Brussels? Is he going to get some therapy from WWE? Because I feel like he needs to. I feel like there is a lot that poor kid is going to be a future card in the game. What do you mean? They're going to show that picture. That's still of that kid. That poor kid. Do you think that WWE should cover his therapy costs? I believe they should.
It's funny to me because I love how they incorporate a lot more of the fan aspect again, because I feel like we haven't had those type of like fan shots in a while, right?
COVID kind of ruined that. I'll be honest with you. COVID kind of did
100%. I feel like the last big shot that we had like that was the Undertaker guy.
Oh
Like,
yeah,
the shot
the wide eyes.
Yes. And I feel like it's funny because you'll see, for example, The Rock is the biggest low-hanging fruit type of guy, right? He always tries to hit the low-hanging fruit. How did they not show the guy when The Rock, schizophrenic Rock, I call him now because he doesn't know which character he's in at that moment. The Rock's doing his little like, yeah, I'm so excited to go to New Orleans, and some guy's like excited. He goes, "Shut up before I slap the syphilis off your face." Right? How do you not show that guy? You know what I mean? Like stuff like that, you have to. I feel like they're learning more and more that they do have to go back to that because it is more fun when you incorporate the fans and you get their reactions and stuff like that. And I think the kid is probably more happy that now all of his friends will be like, "Oh my God, you're the guy that John Cena called out," and he'll probably be more famous from it. And like the next time they're in Brussels, they'll probably bring him in and have him do like a photo shoot or have John Cena apologize to him or something. But I do think it's funny that they are doing that more, and I really think they should be doing that more, especially international shows. Like
Yeah.
you're barely over there. Try to incorporate as much of these fans as you can. Give them their moment. Give them their opportunity. They're paying stupid money to be there. Give them that chance.
I like that. I like that. Absolutely do like that. And you know what? I do want to get your opinion on this because this is the match I think you and I will debate back and forth on this because your favorite wrestlers in this match, and that's the triple threat. That's the most recent match that was signed, sealed, and delivered. It's on its way. We knew it was going to happen. They
Yeah.
were setting it up since Royal Rumble. They
Yeah.
absolutely were. And now it's here and now it's happening. So we're going to get Punk versus Rollins versus Roman. And two questions. One, how do you think this match plays out? Two, does Paul Heyman, do we find out the favor before the match or after the match?
Um, so the favorite part, it's tough because if they go with the aspect of the favor is that you are my wise man for this match, and that like throws Roman off his game. If that ends up being the favor, I think it's before the match. If the favor is after, and Paul Heyman has to walk out with CM Punk, something along those lines, and he's his wise man going into a title shot because again, that's another guy that you can insert for the John Cena. I know that's a name that I'm sure was on your head for who John Cena could face after he wins the title. The biggest thing is, again, I think they've already told us who's going to win this match. Personally, they're literally throwing it in our face, and it's very obvious that CM Punk is winning that match. But I believe that CM Punk is going to pin Seth Rollins, unfortunately. I don't think that they hurt the aura of Roman with another pin, and you don't have Roman take the loss, and you still get the opportunity of running Roman and Seth one-on-one again right around SummerSlam time period. You get these guys to go, run it back and give them a stipulation. But I think CM Punk gets the win. The favorite part, it's so up in the air. I feel like the favorite part is being like kicked down it's like they're kicking the bucket, the can down the line until like they feel like the fans like deserve it. I will say this. I think CM Punk taking all these shots at AEW is starting to be a little weird to me. Like the whole like I work with children thing. It's like bro, we get it. You know what I mean? Like he throws the jab here and there, and it's like I don't think the WWE universe watches AEW like that to give him the reaction he wants. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like the majority of the people that are going to the WWE shows, they're not watching both shows. So you're not going to get that reaction you're looking for. You don't need to like throw the jabs in there. We know it. We get you had a falling out with those guys. You're going to win this match. You're probably going to face John Cena for the title at some point. Just fucking own it, man. Just drop the other shit.
I agree. I absolutely 150% agree. And do you feel like when he does those things, because this is an interesting question to ask, because you have a great mind for the business, and I'm enjoying just listening to you, like I enjoy the reactions and stuff. Do you feel like that's off the cup? Like, is he changing script, or is that being cleared before he goes out there? Because
So I feel like certain of these guys are allowed some freedom. Like CM Punk is definitely allowed freedom on the mic. He can probably say whatever he wants. I'm sure Triple H just goes, listen, I trust you. You're really good at this. John Cena, The Rock, Roman, like Seth Rollins. I feel like those guys get a little bit of freedom, and I feel like it's one of those things where he does it, and I'm sure in the back Triple H is like, come on. And he's like, I had to get that off my chest, like I need that for me. That's probably one of those, like, I need that for me. It makes me feel better about myself type things. Like I get to bury the other company. I'm here getting paid millions and millions of dollars. I'm going to main event night one of WrestleMania. I want to take shots at those guys. And I feel like for him, it's more of like a personal thing than it is anything. But I think he gets creative freedom in that aspect, and he just gets to say whatever the hell he wants to say.
fair enough, fair enough. Again, I can't debate with you. The one thing I will say though is I don't think he's gonna pin Seth. I think the aura does. I think the only way for the favor to make sense is if he pins Roman. That's my honest belief. I understand we don't want that to break the aura, but hey, The Undertaker lost more than once. The Undertaker did lose twice, and he lost to again the character we shall not name, Big Roman. It's my yard now.
Yep.
Right? He lost it. He lost to the big dog. So you know what? I think that he does. I think CM Punk does win. CM Punk does win the match, and I feel like he does pin Roman because that to me makes more sense in terms of the favor.
Yep.
That's just the way I see that. But I got to switch gears again to more female action, to more women's wrestling. We got that triple threat for the title. Now, I'm going to share my opinion on this one first, and I want to see where you go with this. I feel like Io Sky has been stepped aside and pushed all the way to the back of the barrel for this. This is more Bianca Belair versus Rhea Ripley, and Io's just there holding the title for shits and giggles. I feel like they're disrespecting Io. And if they were going to do that, why even bother putting the title on her in the first place? It should have just been Rhea versus Bianca and save all this nonsense with Io. I think the first time it was kind of funny, but then they did it again this Monday. They pushed her again, and I'm like, this is just getting stupid now. Like, respect the champ. She's a champ
Yeah.
for a reason. And I feel like they're both going to lose, and I feel like Io's going to retain just because of all the shenanigans that's happened. But I want your thought process on this whole soap opera that's transpired with these three ladies.
So it's tough because I personally have kept saying that Bianca's going to win, Bianca's going to win, Bianca's going to win. But I'm starting to think that the way they're telling the story that Io is probably going to win, that both of those women are going to be too focused on each other, and it's going to end up having Io Sky win, especially because she's the one that's like being bullied in this situation. And it's so interesting to me because it's like literally she had a completely different role going into the last WrestleMania, and it's so interesting how like year over year your characters can do full 180s, right?
Mhm.
Because when Bailey won the Royal Rumble, it was Io Sky doing the bullying of Bailey and like downplaying Bailey and all this stuff. And now Io Sky is the super baby face being bullied by the two bigger, stronger women. And it's tough for me because it's like I personally think Bianca should win the match. I think that her time is starting to dwindle down. She is 36 years old. I know she wants to start a family and stuff like that. I don't know how many more opportunities she's gonna have to main event WrestleMania, if that ends up being the main event, because they truly haven't told us if the triple threat match for the men, if Jey Uso or the women are going to end up main eventing. But if this does main event, it's probably going to be one of her last chances to main event. So I think I've been saying for a while that I think Bianca was going to win, but the way that they're doing the promos and the way that they're pushing Io to the side and stuff like that, I do agree. I think Io is going to end up winning that match.
I'm glad you see the wavelength like I do. Okay, and now we got to talk about this. This match has been building, it's been brewing. I'm a KO guy. A lot of people say I look like his twin. I mean, he's definitely in way better shape and has better tattoos than I do. But a lot of people say, given like if you squint your eyes just a little bit, I could be Kevin Owens twins. Like if you just fully squint for a little bit, maybe I could pull it off. But who knows? My wife says I'm his twin all the time. But that's my wife. She has to say I look good because that's my wife. But Randy Orton, Kevin Owens. This has been brewing. They've been setting this up since he went away and Randy made his triumphant return in Elimination Chamber. Is this match just going to be a classic wrestling match, or right before WrestleMania, are they going to throw in some kind of a stipulation? Are we going to get a
Yeah.
last man standing or something like that?
We need a stip. I actually I have a YouTube video coming out about this, about talking about I don't there's a lot of the matches that we have on this card that I think need a stipulation, not for the fact that it needs it for the match to be good, but a lot of them are blood feuds or the end of a feud situation, and you don't do end of the feuds with just a one-on-one match, right? Like you need. We just saw the end of the Sami Zayn feud. You needed the unsanctioned match. I think you either need a street fight for this match, a last man standing, 2 out of 3 falls, something to get us like, all right, when this is over, these two guys can finally go their separate ways. Because if they do a normal match and it's just an RKO out of nowhere and Kevin Owens is winning the whole way, Kevin Owens is going to be pissed. He's going to say that I was winning the whole match and he got lucky, right? And I don't believe they kicked this bucket down the line because like I said, I think Randy wins this and Randy then moves on to John Cena. So I think you do need something. Give me a street fight, give me something where when this is over, Randy can, stand over Kevin Owens' body being like, all right, I ended this feud. Kevin Owens is gone. I'm on to the next type situation.
That's exactly the way I see it. I was even going to say Falls Count Anywhere. I'd be dope with that. Falls Count Anywhere. I would love
Yep.
that. I haven't seen a good Falls Count Anywhere in some time. It has definitely been a minute. Now, this match, they're preparing for it. They haven't announced it yet, but this will be my final match question, and then I'll ask a few more, and you can enjoy the rest of your evening. But Finn Balor versus Braun Breaker versus Penta, Intercontinental title, will most likely be on the line at WrestleMania. If that match does get announced and it is a triple threat, I feel like that's a lot of triple threats for this 2 night card. But hey, you know what? If they space them out properly, it could work. But if that's the way they go, two questions: who wins? Does Penta get the Intercontinental title because he's so friggin' hot right now? And does Dominic finally go babyface by turning on Finn Balor? I feel like
So,
they're working towards a Dominic babyface turn. I really do feel it.
so I actually believe that they're going to include also Dom or Ludwig Kaiser in that match, and it's going to be
Okay.
a fatal 4-way.
Okay.
So I personally would rather have Dom included as well, and Dom actually pin Finn to win the title.
Hmm.
I believe that will be our moment, and it'll also lead to backlash between those two guys.
Hmm.
But I really don't want Braun to lose. I know that sounds a little crazy. I really don't want Braun to lose. Especially I don't want Braun to take the pin. I don't, no matter what the situation is, the biggest reason why I'd like a fatal 4-way as well is I don't want Penta or Braun to take a pin. I think both of those guys need to come out unscathed and be able to like still move on storyline wise and try to either work their way up the card or try to get the title back type situation. But if it's just those three guys, I do think Penta should pin Finn Balor and win the title. But something in my mind is telling me we're getting Dom included in this match, and I would love Dom to walk out with the title because I know this is crazy to think about. The only title he's held so far is the North American Championship. Have you realized that about him? Like for how over he is and how much like he's done on the main roster, it kind of blows my mind that he's only held an NXT title.
Singles wise, absolutely. Yeah, you're 100% right. You're 100% right. It's true. It's interesting and it's intriguing. But if they do get Dom to if they do include Dom and they do get Dom to pin Finn, is this where you start to see, because they've been planting the demon seeds here and there. At Backlash, do we see the return of the demon? I gotta come on, Alan. If I didn't
I know
ask,
it
I gotta
sucks. It
ask.
sucked. So it's funny. Right after the WrestleMania match, I made a video on my old page, the one that got banned, saying that the character is dead. When I made that video, the backlash I got was insane. People saying it's not fucking dead. It's just a loss. Like he lost to one of the greatest of all time. It's dead, man, and it sucks that it's dead. You know, it's one of those things where it's like, oh, how do you have that good of a character? It's like the Fiend. How do you fuck up the Fiend? How do you fuck up the Demon Finn Balor character? There's certain characters that like you literally can't fuck the character up. There's just no way you can fuck the character up. And they fucked it up. Like you have a character that is just like, it's not like he used it like that anyway. You know what I mean? Like he only brought it out for like the perfect situations.
Hmm.
And they fumble them. Like, what? Like, I'm normally the type of guy where I'm very reserved on these type of situations. The Demon Finn Balor character, we haven't needed it either, right? Like, I don't think he's needed it. When he faced Seth Rollins for the title, and I told myself, if they don't use it now, they're gonna use it for a blood feud. When they didn't have him use it against Damian Priest, I was like, that's it. They're not gonna bring it back because there's been opportunity after opportunity after opportunity. Because if you bring it back and you have him take the title off Seth, and then you have Seth beat normal Finn Balor, not the Demon, to get it back himself, it's valid, right? There's been opportunity after opportunity to bring it. They haven't brought it. I just don't see them bringing it for Dominic fucking Mysterio. You know, like you don't bring it back for Seth, you don't bring it back for Damian Priest, but you bring it back for Dominic. Like Triple H. What the fuck are we doing?
I'm dying here. That hands down, bravo to you, sir. I usually go on epic rants, but I gotta tip my hat to you. That was fucking fire. That's probably gonna be the clip. That's the clip for the episode. Triple H, the fuck are we doing here? It's amazing. I love it. I love it. All right. Alan, it's been a blast talking wrestling with you. Two more questions. I'm gonna let you go enjoy your evening. When push comes to shove with night one or night two, which night for you as a fan, not going to say which night is going to be better, which night as a fan are you looking forward to? because we know we're going to have a juxtaposition on these matches. I will be
Yeah.
honest, I'm looking forward to night 2 just because my daughter's a big John Cena fan. I posted a video of her when he won the Elimination Chamber before he turned heel, and she was crying. And a lot of people love the video. Got like over 350,000 views, which was amazing.
Let's go.
And and then they're like, "Well, where's part 2?" I'm like, "There is no part 2." Her and I were both just in the moment. And when he kicked Cody Rhodes in the nads, I looked over. I'm like, "Are you okay?" She's like, "Yeah, Dad. My guy goes dark, I go dark." And I was like, "I love it. I love it." And that's my 8-year-old saying that. So cool, because she already at 8 years old, Alan, she gets it. She understands the business, bro. She gets it. My guy goes dark, I gotta go dark too. So it's perfect. But which night are you looking forward to more as a fan? 1 or 2?
So I kind of need to know where the matches are placed because I have a feeling they're going to stack night 1 in terms of like the matches that we want to see and basically like build night 2 all around the main event. Like if night 1 we get Charlotte, Tiffany, we get the women's triple threat match and we get the guys triple threat match, then I'm looking forward to night 1 more. Just because those are probably the 3 matches that I am most looking forward to outside of the main event. Because the way I look at it, if they're not giving Jey Uso the main event, Jey Uso has to open night 2. You'll have Jey Uso and Gunther open night 2, and you'll have the main event with Cody and Cena, and that will alone get me excited for night 2. But if night 1 I get the men's triple threat, the women's triple threat, and I get Charlotte and Tiffany, I mean, like I'm so like I will be on the edge of my seat the whole night 1. You know, like those are 3 matches that I'm gonna like. It's the same. It was funny. Elimination Chamber, I didn't leave my seat a single time. Right, like I liked every single match on that card. Like I did not go to the bathroom. I did not go get another water bottle. I just sat. I stood there, dehydrated as shit because I needed a water. But we're sitting second row. You know what I mean? That's a long walk to go get a water and. Those matches will just keep me in my seat the whole time. Allegiant Stadium is going to be fucking rowdy. WrestleMania weekend in Vegas is insane. I believe we're going to have an older crowd. I believe we're going to have a crowd of people that know they're spending stupid money. So they're going to be loud. I would hope that they're going to be loud. They're going to be cheering. And if that's the night 1, I'm definitely more excited for night 1.
I love that. I love that. All right, my dude. I don't even need to get you to shout out your socials. I'm just going to put them all in the links below. But I'm going to shout out my socials because hopefully maybe some of your fan base will come over my way. Straight Talk Wrestling guys everywhere. Everywhere. Just in the link below. This is the incomparable Alan Ownz. He's been incredible. It's been a joy to talk pro wrestling with him. And man, you're a member of the Straight Talk family. I did announce that by the end of this year, I will be wrapping up the 10 years because I'm working on some other projects. But anytime you want to come back and chop up wrestling, dude, it will be an absolute honor to chop it up with you because you are hella entertaining. So keep doing you because I appreciate the fuck out of you, man. I really do.
I appreciate it, man. I appreciate you inviting me on here. I enjoy coming on and talking wrestling with guys that like making professional wrestling content, that love talking about wrestling. You know, it's funny because a few years ago, if you would have told people that this is what you do, they'd look at you like you're crazy. Nobody listens to wrestling like that or cares about wrestling like that. And it's so awesome to see how far wrestling content itself has gone. You know, when I started posting my wrestling content compared to just talking about it, because I would go to shows when I was doing just gaming content and I would post myself at shows and people are like, "Oh, I didn't know you're a wrestling fan." And I'm like, I talk about wrestling on my streams all the time. And I finally started posting like the wrestling content myself. It was so cool because even back then, like, because I started posting the wrestling content like right around WrestleMania 38. And people were like saying like, "Oh, you still watch wrestling?" And I was like, bro, if you come to my stream, all we do is talk about wrestling content. You know what I mean? All we do. I be playing video games talking about WWE Monday on Raw and SmackDown and stuff like that. And it's cool to see where we're at now and seeing the opportunities that everyone's getting and seeing how far wrestling has come. And it's awesome to watch the growth of everybody.
Absolutely. I love that. And I think that's the best way to end this conversation because that's exactly what it was. It was me and Alan Ownz chopping it up. And again, you are officially a member of the Straight Talk family as long as Straight Talk is around. So you're definitely welcome to come back anytime. Peace, love, and wrestling, guys. We'll see you next week. Peace.
Yo. We just people from the north side. Want some Timmy's at the shore fine. Winter ready on the four ties. Heavy traffic during 4-5. Gotta hustle on your own time. Color people every